Mom, so many of the people I hang out with talk about buying their insurance online. They say they like how easy it is to get and how they like to pay online.
Mike, I have had long-term clients give it a try too, but the vast majority come back to us very quickly.
Why?
Well, there's lots of reasons. One being their premiums. They usually are not as affordable as they first appear. At Charles Leach, we explore many alternatives, and we can offer coverage from such companies as Hartford, Progressive, Travelers, Brother Mutual, Penn National, Allstate, and many more.
Wow, that's a lot of options. But can they pay their bills online?
Yes, they can. They can even set their bank account up with EFT.
That's electronic fund transfer, right?
That's right. Call Charles Leach for a no-obligation appointment at 888-CP-LEACH or see us online at leachagency.com. That's Charles Leach at 888-CP-LEACH, protecting you like family.
Why should you choose Nolf, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Fairmont City? Why wouldn't you choose them? At Nolf, their sales are speedy and include upfront and straightforward pricing. If it's service and parts you're after, they have skilled technicians who are factory trained while offering knowledgeable parts experts. Maybe you need Nolf's full-service body shop offering top-quality collision repair to all makes and models of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Or do you want to cruise the highway in a clean, shiny vehicle thanks to Nolf's detailing service? No matter your needs, Nolf, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Fairmont City is there for you. Find out more at NolfChryslerDodge.com. Clarion Printing, a full-service commercial printer since 1968, offers everything from design to completion with fast turnaround times and competitive prices. Clarion Printing offers things from digital to offset printing, large format banners and signage, and even vinyl and silk screening. Shipping daily with UPS, Clarion Printing can take care of you no matter where you live. Find out more at ClarionPrinting.com.
For all your sandwich needs, stop by the New Bethlehem Subway, located across the street from Redbank Valley High School. The New Bethlehem Subway is open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Stop in today to get your stocking stuffer gift cards or order a sandwich or salad online through the app or in the store. The New Bethlehem Subway is a proud supporter of Redbank Valley Athletics.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's time. Well, about 2 hours away from kickoff of the PIAA Class 1A football championship game between District 9 champion Redbank Valley and District 6 champion Bishop Guilfoyle. Chris Rossetti here from D9and10sports.com along with my colleague Andy Close. We're here outside of Hershey Park Stadium getting you ready for today's kickoff on the Charles Leach Agency Kickoff Show. For all your insurance needs, check out the Charles Leach Agency online at leachagency.com. Redbank Valley comes into this game with a record of 13 wins and 1 loss. The Bulldogs have won 13 in a row since a 22-20 setback to Keystone in the opening week of the season. The Bulldogs, the first District 9 team to reach the PIAA championship game in 29 years. The 1992 Smethport Hubbers were the last ones to be in a championship game. That game was in Altoona. This is the first time a District 9 team has been here in Hershey. Keystone also made the championship game in 1989. That was played at a high school. Both of those teams lost the championship, so Redbank tried to become the first champion out of District 9. The game has become more of a birthright for their opponent, the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders, who are appearing in their 5th championship game in the last 8 years. They have 3 titles, the last coming in 2016. Back in the title game after missing it last year, they lost on a last-second field goal to Farrell in 2019 right here in Hershey. The Marauders are 10-4 on the year. All 4 of those losses against higher classification teams. They were 4-3 after a loss to Chestnut Ridge in early October. Since then, they have gone 6-1 with the only loss coming to Bedford, who we saw a few weeks ago. Andy really put a hammering on Clearfield.
Yeah, they have one of my favorite players in the state in Mercury Swain, a dynamic quarterback, but I digress.
But as we look at this game, obviously for Redbank Valley, this is a big deal. And before we get any further, I want to shout out to Mike Kundick, the wrestling coach at Redbank Valley. We're plugged into his RV right now. Can't appreciate that any more than we can speak, but can see there's some Redbank fans that are gathered here behind us as well already, and we're still an hour and a half away from kickoff.
Yeah, it's just where else would you rather be? Right here, right now, sweetest place on earth, Hershey, Pennsylvania, Redbank Valley, as you said. an opportunity to become the first District 9 team to win a PIAA football championship. And you can really feel even though the crowd is just very slowly starting to file in about an hour and 40 minutes before kickoff or so, you can really feel the energy here. Just a remarkable setting here from Hershey.
Yeah, right next door to us right here. There's some Bishop Guilfoyle fans already here as well, doing a little bit of tailgating. This is what football's all about. It doesn't matter what level it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is just phenomenal. And we got, we're here, in December, and the weather's not too bad, right? It's a little chilly, but we'll take it. Shouldn't be much of a factor in the action today, that's for sure.
Hey, let's take a break. When we come back, we will break down the Redbank Valley Bulldogs. You're watching the Charles Leach Agency Kickoff Show on D9and10sports.com.
You know, Mom, so many of the people I hang out with talk about buying their insurance online. They say they like how easy it is to get and how they like to pay online.
Mike, I have had long-term clients give it a try too, but the vast majority come back to us very quickly.
Why?
Well, there's lots of reasons. One being their premiums. They usually are not as affordable as they first appear. At Charles Leach, we explore many alternatives, and we can offer coverage from such companies as Hartford, Progressive, Travelers, Brother Mutual, Penn National, Allstate, and many more.
Wow, that's a lot of options. But can they pay their bills online?
Yes, they can. They can even set their bank account up with EFT.
That's electronic fund transfer, right?
That's right. Call Charles Leach for a no-obligation appointment at 888-CP-LEACH or see us online at leachagency.com. That's Charles Leach at 888-CP-LEACH, protecting you like family.
Why should you choose Nolf, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Fairmont City? Why wouldn't you choose them? At Nolf, their sales are speedy and include upfront and straightforward pricing. If it's service and parts you're after, they have skilled technicians who are factory trained while offering knowledgeable parts experts. Maybe you need Nolf's full-service body shop offering top-quality collision repair to all makes and models of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Or do you want to cruise the highway in a clean, shiny vehicle thanks to Nolf's detailing service? No matter your needs, Nolf, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Fairmont City is there for you. Find out more at NolfChryslerDodge.com. Clarion Printing, a full-service commercial printer since 1968, offers everything from design to completion with fast turnaround times and competitive prices. Clarion Printing offers things from digital to offset printing, large format banners and signage, and even vinyl and silk screening. Shipping daily with UPS, Clarion Printing can take care of you no matter where you live. Find out more at ClarionPrinting.com. Hi, Chris Rossetti here from D9and10sports.com. I wanted to take a second to tell you about one of the best restaurants in all of Western Pennsylvania, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg, PA. With indoor and outdoor dining, you can enjoy prime rib all weekend long, or perhaps it is their full wings served on Thursday wing nights that you're after. From celebrating a special occasion to hanging out with family and friends, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg is the place to be. As they like to say, you come for the food and you stay for the view. Reserve your table today at AlleghenyGrill.com.
Welcome back to the Charles Leach Agency Kickoff Show, getting you ready for Redbank Valley versus Bishop Guilfoyle in the PIAA Class 1A Championship game. For all your insurance needs, check out the Charles Leach Agency online at leachagency.com. Hey, let's talk a little bit about the Redbank Valley Bulldogs offense here, Andy. Really starts with their senior quarterback, Brandon Bain, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Bain, a first-year starter. It's really remarkable what he's been able to do, stepping in and playing quarterback, as anyone who's ever played the position will attest to. It's not an easy task, and coming in there, as a senior and getting really gradually more comfortable as the season's gone on, really doing what he's been able to do this season, the numbers he's been able to put up, and not only that, directing this offense the way he's been able to, has really been phenomenal to watch for the Bulldogs.
Well, one of the things about him is he didn't play any varsity or junior varsity football. Like, he was not a football player. He was a baseball player. He's going to IUP on a baseball scholarship. He hadn't played since, I think, junior high, maybe even sixth grade. And he's really stepped in and taken the reins of this offense. Won a quarterback competition in the preseason and has really come in. I had a chance to ask Brandon when things started to slow down for him.
Right around like week 5 or 6, stuff started to happen, and I started seeing more stuff, and it just became a lot easier.
And as he talked about there, Andy, having things slow down there in really about the 5th game or so was really important for him.
Yeah, and again, you talk about he's an intelligent kid, and that helps a lot. And the athleticism, as you talk about, natural athlete, you're going to IUP. All of those things helped him make a quick transition to really. It's a remarkable story when you're thinking about it. First year playing quarterback, first year playing football, and he's quarterbacking a team in the state championship game. I can't get over just it's a phenomenal story. It
Well,
really is.
you talk about some of those that athleticism. Here's some highlights of Brandon from this week.
We saw all year with Fane that he could go deep, but against Bishop Canterbury, he showed the ability to go over the middle here with this pass to Tate Minnick. Then he also showed an elusiveness and an ability to get out of a pocket, kind of a Ben Roethlisberger type touchdown run here for him.
And, you saw that play where he really looked like Ben Roethlisberger, not a quarterback that runs a whole lot, but showed some escapability there and also throws a really nice ball.
Yeah, it doesn't run a lot, but runs when he has to, and obviously, as I touched on before, has the athletic ability to do so.
Yeah, and, he talked about having some big play receivers help him out a lot as well.
They make it really easy. I mean, you don't have to throw the perfect ball every time. You just put it somewhere, they can go grab it, and they make plays.
And, want to talk about some of those receivers, specifically starting with Marquise Gardlock, Tate Minnick, and Aiden Orts. I want to save Chris Marshall for a moment here, but kind of talk about those guys. Minnick has really been a kid. I was really a little bit surprised, to be honest with you. When I looked at the stats, he's the second leading receiver on this team.
Yeah, and just talk about kids from the receiver position that really do it all for this Redbank Valley team. They're great route runners, have good speed. You talk about Gardlock. He has great size, and they're willing to do the dirty work as well, as we've seen throughout the year. They're willing to get downfield and block in both, after the catch and in the run game as well. So these are kids that have really, you want to talk about a quarterback's best friend. Orts, Minnick, and Gardlock have certainly been that for Redbank Valley this season.
There's some athleticism there especially on the edges with Gardlock really having some height and some ability to really go up and get the football.
Yeah, and what that allows you to do, it's when you get in a jump ball situation, it's nice to know you have a guy with that kind of size, speed, athleticism combination to where it's really you're not going to find many defensive backs at the Class A level that can match up with a guy like Marquise Gardlock, and we've seen that throughout the season and in the postseason as well.
Speaking about a guy that's hard to match up with, Chris Marshall, he's wide receiver on offense. They've moved him here over the last few weeks to the safety position on defense, and let's take a look at some of Chris Marshall's highlights.
So first, looking at him here on offense, ability to adjust to his routes, and not only that, but just in the air on this touchdown catch. And then, of course, there was the defense here on the key pick six against Bishop Canterbury at 6'3". He's a load back there as a safety, really a college-level type safety for the Bulldogs.
Just seeing that catch he made in the snow against Northern Bedford. That was actually Gunnar Mangentini who threw him that ball, as Bain had actually stepped out for an injury for a moment. But and then that pick six last week in the big win over Bishop Canterbury. I call it one of the top plays in District 9 history.
Yeah, and we've talked about that kind of ad nauseum over the last week. It'll go down. Obviously, Redbank Valley's looking to finish the job here today. But no matter what happens here today, that Marshall interception return against Canterbury will go down as one of the best plays in school history, and just a play that completely shifted the momentum of that semifinal game. But that's what Marshall does. He's a big play guy. He's a big, strong athlete. You can see he's so fluid, so agile, and he can change plays on a dime, as we saw last week.
He doesn't have a ton of experience at that safety position. I was curious as to what he thought made him such a good safety, and this is what he had to say about playing safety and getting comfortable doing that.
It just helps me a lot to be able to see everything all the way across the field. I'm quick with reading things, stuff like that.
That's it's not an easy position, and he's really made it look easy.
No, and as he alluded to as well, being kind of that safety, if you will, allows him, he can see the whole field. And when you're a kid, again, we talk about these Redbank kids, Marshall and Gardlock and Bain. With Marshall, the athleticism, the size, the way he's able, he's gotten more comfortable. He's able to diagnose those plays quickly. And when you're that kind of athlete, again, especially at this level, that's something that not a lot of teams at this level have.
No question. I like his combination of the size and the speed, and that's why he's getting some looks from some Division II teams, specifically on that defensive side of the football. He can do some special things, as you've seen, and he's gonna, it's athletes like him and Gardlock and Minnick and Bain and so forth that's going to become a tougher matchup, I think, for Bishop Guilfoyle at the end of the day. One of the things that Bishop Canevin thought it had going into its game against Redbank last week was an advantage on that athletic side, and quickly found out that wasn't the case.
Yeah, and I think that would surprise a lot of folks. Here's a team from District 9 and going against the Whitfield champ. Typically, you think it's the other way around, in terms of the athletes you have, especially on the perimeter and in the backfield. But no, to your point, it was Redbank, and that's one of the many reasons they are here. Is not only do they have those guys, but the coaching staff knows how to utilize those guys and really get the most out of them.
Andy, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to have Rich Rhodes step in for you to talk a little bit about the rushing game for these Bulldogs. You're watching the Charles Leach Agency kickoff show here on D9and10sports.com.
Mom, so many of the people I hang out with talk about buying their insurance online. They say they like how easy it is to get and how they like to pay online.
Mike, I have had long-term clients give it a try too, but the vast majority come back to us very quickly.
Why?
Well, there's lots of reasons. One being their premiums. They usually are not as affordable as they first appear. At Charles Leach, we explore many alternatives, and we can offer coverage from such companies as Hartford, Progressive, Travelers, Brother Mutual, Penn National, Allstate, and many more.
Wow, that's a lot of options. But can they pay their bills online?
Yes, they can. They can even set their bank account up with EFT.
That's electronic fund transfer, right?
That's right. Call Charles Leach for a no-obligation appointment at 888-CP-LEACH or see us online at leachagency.com. That's Charles Leach at 888-CP-LEACH, protecting you like family.
With locations in Shippenville and Tionesta, Tionesta Builder Supply is a full-service home improvement center specializing in everything you need to build or remodel your home. From power tools and accessories to paint and sundries and general hardware merchandise, Tionesta Builders has everything you need to get your project done quickly. Find out more at tionestabuilders.us and like them on Facebook.
For all your sandwich needs, stop by the New Bethlehem Subway, located across the street from Redbank Valley High School. The New Bethlehem Subway is open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Stop in today to get your stocking stuffer gift cards or order a sandwich or salad online through the app or in the store. The New Bethlehem Subway is a proud supporter of Redbank Valley Athletics.
Throughout West Central Pennsylvania, people are losing their glasses. Well, they haven't really lost them. They just don't need them anymore. Thanks to the amazing LASIK surgeons at Laurel Eye Clinic. Using state-of-the-art bladeless LASIK technology, these board-certified surgeons offer better vision for you and your family. With 10 convenient locations, there's bound to be one nearby. Isn't it time that you lost your glasses? Call Laurel Eye Clinic or visit laureleye.com and schedule your free consultation.
Back here outside Hershey Park Stadium in Hershey, PA, getting you ready for the PIAA Class 1A football championship game between Redbank Valley and Bishop Guilfoyle. You're watching the Charles Leach Agency kickoff show for all your insurance needs. Check out the Charles Leach Agency online at leachagency.com. Want to talk a little bit about Redbank Valley and its rushing attack, and I've got Rich Rhodes now from the sports editor of the New Bethlehem Leader Vindicator, with me here. And as we take a look, Rich, at Redbank's rushing attack, it's really evolved in the PIAA playoffs, not necessarily by choice. Either is the unfortunate situation where they lose Ray Schreckengost to a disciplinary issue, and they've had to turn to Brendan Schreckengost, and he's really kind of turned into the feel-good story of these playoffs. 5'0", maybe 135, 140 pounds, dripping wet, and yet he's really stepped in and done some special things, rushing for over 200 yards in 2 games.
Yeah, and he's not a new face to this program. He's been a starter on defense for the most part as at middle linebacker, making a lot of tackles. In fact, if you look at his stats from last week, he's making plays defensively as well. But he hasn't been asked to carry the ball much until the last couple weeks. Going into the game against Northern Bedford, he had 22 carries for 55 yards. So that obviously tells you what he wasn't able to do in the limited carries he's had all year. But if you know his style, get him some space and he can break it open. This guy was pretty good in the early ranks playing in midget football. He was their best running back, and he was the star, and he ran for a lot of touchdowns in youth football. So to say that this is new territory for him, yeah, at the varsity level, but you got to take some of that success, and it's translating here as he's getting a chance to help run this offense with carrying the ball out of the backfield.
You know, I had a chance to ask him about taking over as the starting running back. Here's what he had to say.
It's a pretty difficult role to fill with Ray being out, but I just had to step up and try to keep all my emotions in check. It's a lot to take in.
And, you know, Rich, I know you couldn't necessarily hear that interview right now, but he talked a little bit about, you know, it was just a situation that he did kind of feel comfortable with, but there were some adjustments he had to make as well.
Yeah, and he has to find his spots. And, you know, last week's game, and I talked to Coach Gold after the game when he finally got a chance to look at the stats, and he goes, wow, he ran for 75 yards. It didn't feel that way, meaning that he had a couple big gains. They might have come later. There were a lot of zeros and ones. There wasn't a lot of if you looked at the stats, there weren't a lot of minus carries for him. It was either, you know, a lot of short carries, but when they needed him late in that game, he got a nice couple big chunk yard carries, and it ended up being a pretty decent game. 75 yards in a Western final, they'll take that.
You know, let's take a look at some of the highlights he's had from the last couple of weeks.
Goss is a versatile player for them. Here you see him on a kickoff return against Northern Bedford. You can see his speed just getting to that outside edge. And then when he hits that outside, he's off to the races and is gone. And that was a big play in that Northern Bedford game. And then just such a small kid, but he's able to find the hole and then actually runs over a player on his way to the end zone here. And that was another key in that victory.
You know, one of the highlights that you just saw there was him in that game against Northern Bedford where he basically bowled over a guy on his way to the end zone. You wouldn't think that from a guy his size.
Well, he was low to the ground. He knows balance. You're going to knock some guys over no matter what their size is if you have that advantage. And that play he did. And then he was able to break that open for that 47-yard run over at Clarion. And one of the big plays of the season for Redbank Valley.
Well, you know, he talks a little bit about how he can use his size to his advantage.
For me, it's like I feel like I can see better through traffic because I'm not up at the same eyesight level as everybody else. I can just kind of weave around people a little bit easier.
Any running back, of course, Rich, is only as good as his offensive line. And Redbank Valley has an experienced offensive line that's pretty good. And I had a chance to ask four-year starter Colby Barrett about the line and why they've come together so well.
For us this year was getting Coach Hoffman on the squad. His knowledge of blocking and zone blocking, especially for us, has just been phenomenal for us. I don't think as a unit we've ever been this close. I've got to play on 4 different years with the line, and just together we feel like a family up there. And our goal is always to get 4 yards, and I feel like we've done a good job doing that in playoffs.
This is a line that seems like it's really gelled since Jason Hoffman has moved up from the junior high ranks to help them out a little bit. They seem to have been gotten better and better every week.
Yeah, and Coach Gold knows he has a knowledgeable coach there with some experience. He's on his junior high staff, so it's not like he brought him out of nowhere. Jason's a very valuable asset to that program, and as Blaine said, new set of eyes, same team, might come up with something different, and he's clearly a factor helping this offensive line here make another step up as they need them in the postseason.
You know, I want to flip the side here for a second and take a moment to talk about the defense. It really starts up front with Joe Mansfield. And here's Mansfield getting that big sack and safety in the semifinal win over Bishop Canterbury. And, he's done that sort of stuff all the time. I mean, that's like a highlight of highlights. But the way he beats offensive linemen off the ball with his athleticism is really what creates a lot of havoc for teams. And he's not the only one on that defense that does these kind of things.
Yeah, Brandon Ross on the other side. Those guys put pressure on the edges. And you look when you look at stats from a game and you see all the penalties. Well, Bishop Canavan made a lot of mental mistakes. That was inflicted on them to some extent because of that edge pressure. It created penalties, holding penalties, illegal chop block in there. Those things happen because they're having problems blocking. It's not just a mental mistake. And I thought that was really a big key to last week's game, and it could be today.
Well, one of the things they do is they also put a lot of pressure on their cornerbacks. It's a lot of man coverage for Redbank on the outside.
Because of that, yeah. I mean, if they don't get to the quarterback, they're going to have problems. And the one thing that I took from that Union AC Valley game is Union AC Valley was able to move the ball around, put pressure on, and stay. They had some guys that maybe had a little more success actually than Canavan blocking the ends. And Brody Dittman was able to pop here and there. And again, Redbank was in a different secondary situation then. They did not have guard lock back there. But can Bishop Guilfoyle nullify those edges and put pressure on the secondary? Because if they have time, if they have time to throw, any defensive backfield's going to have trouble. So that's going to be an interesting storyline as we see today.
And we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about this Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders team. You're watching the Charles Leach Agency Kickoff Show on D9and10sports.com.
Mom, so many of the people I hang out with talk about buying their insurance online. They say they like how easy it is to get and how they like to pay online.
Mike, I have had long-term clients give it a try too. But the vast majority come back to us very quickly.
Why?
Well, there's lots of reasons. One being their premiums. They usually are not as affordable as they first appear. At Charles Leach, we explore many alternatives, and we can offer coverage from such companies as Hartford, Progressive, Travelers, Brother Mutual, Penn National, Allstate, and many more.
Wow, that's a lot of options. But can they pay their bills online?
Yes, they can. They can even set their bank account up with EFT.
That's electronic fund transfer, right?
That's right. Call Charles Leach for a no-obligation appointment at 888-CP-LEACH or see us online at leachagency.com. That's Charles Leach at 888-CP-LEACH, protecting you like family.
Why should you choose Nolf Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Fairmont City? Why wouldn't you choose them? At Nolf, their sales are speedy and include upfront and straightforward pricing. If it's service and parts you're after, they have skilled technicians who are factory trained while offering knowledgeable parts experts. Maybe you need Nolf's full service body shop offering top quality collision repair to all makes and models of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Or do you want to cruise the highway in a clean, shiny vehicle thanks to Nolf's detailing service? No matter your needs, Nolf Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Fairmont City is there for you. Find out more at NolfChryslerDodge.com. Clarion Printing, a full-service commercial printer since 1968, offers everything from design to completion with fast turnaround times and competitive prices. Clarion Printing offers things from digital to offset printing, large format banners and signage, and even vinyl and silk screening. Shipping daily with UPS, Clarion Printing can take care of you no matter where you live. Find out more at ClarionPrinting.com.
For all your sandwich needs, stop by the New Bethlehem Subway, located across the street from Redbank Valley High School. The New Bethlehem Subway is open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Stop in today to get your stocking stuffer gift cards or order a sandwich or salad online through the app or in the store. The New Bethlehem Subway is a proud supporter of Redbank Valley Athletics.
Need plumbing, heating, or air conditioning services in Western PA? Then call Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning in Clarion today at 814-226-8695. At Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, we believe that a service-oriented business like ours should give you quality care and a quick response time. That's why we stand on our promise, offering you reliable 24-hour service that gets your job done right when you need it. We can also be found on the web at lutonsplumbing.com. Again, that number is 814-226-8695. We're back here. You can see we got some Redbank Valley fans behind us getting ready here for this PIAA championship game as the Bulldogs playing against Bishop Guilfoyle. Guys, who's winning the game today? you see, they think their team is going to win. They're going to have to be able to contain Carson Kieswetter, the quarterback for Bishop Guilfoyle. Kieswetter, as you can see on the screen, has rushed and passed for over 1,000 yards this season, Andy. As Andy Close rejoins me, that's a heck of a feat.
Yeah, and again, you talk about a kid who's just maybe similar to a quarterback that Redbank Valley has seen this season, and Blaine Gold talked about a little bit. Smethport quarterback Noah Lent, of course, Noah Lent, the dual threat quarterback for the Hubbers. Blaine talked a little bit about that. I thought it was interesting. You talk about a kid, big, strong athlete, over 6 feet tall, dual threat, can run it, pass it, and they do it out of a lot of different formations as well. So the Redbank Valley defense is going to be key for them to read their keys today.
Yeah, and Kieswetter isn't alone, as Cooper Rother has over 800 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns, over 600 yards receiving, over 1,400 total yards of offense. He has 3 more touchdowns there, 13 touchdowns. They're going to have to find a way to really contain these two. And as you saw in the highlight there, Kieswetter definitely has a little bit of Noah Len in him where he can scramble.
Yeah, and again, Rother, a dynamic playmaker, adept at rushing, receiving, as you said. I got a couple other threats, they're at the skill positions for Guilfoyle as well, in Riley and Yanishak, more like quick, small, not quite, go about 5'10" or so, but quick, good athletes, and they're able to do a lot with the ball in space as well. So this is a Guilfoyle team that definitely has some weapons, and Kieswetter knows how to give them the ball.
Yeah, and Redbank Valley head coach Blaine Gold talked a little bit about Bishop Guilfoyle and what worries him the most about them.
They actually have, it was funny, I was actually texting Coach Jack about this. It's really similar to what Smethport runs. They have a quarterback that they're going to put the ball in his hands just like they did with Noah Lent. The only thing that makes it a little bit scarier is when I broke down the tape, I had on tape 47 different formations. They do it out of a bunch of different looks. And obviously this is a team, we talked to the team last week that Bishop Canavan was just like us. It was a team that hasn't been here or hadn't been there for a very long time. We're kind of playing the standard of single-A football in the state, a team that's three-peated, a team that lost in 2019 on a last-second field goal. And so we talked about, even though it's really similar to what we saw with Smethport, we know even simple things like if we don't line up correctly, their coaching staff will take advantage of that. So on the one hand, again, going back to how our battles with some of the top teams in District 9 prepared us for this year, we're going to kind of take that game plan that we used against Lent and Smethport, and if we can have the same kind of results, and even Lent, I think he had 96 yards against us, but when you looked at some of the numbers in other games, that was a pretty good job of keeping him in check. So it's the same philosophy.
I really do like the comparison of Noah Lent. Now, again, they're bringing it from some different formations and stuff, which I think is really, you talked a little bit about that. Blaine talked a little bit about that, Andy. But I think that's going to be a real key, is just understanding to really just hold your gaps and things. I mean, I know that just sounds like simple football, but really sometimes football really just does come down to doing those simple things.
Yeah, and again, to Blaine's point, they have a blueprint. Is the game plan going to be exactly the same as it was when they faced Smethport? No, there are obviously going to be some adjustments, and this Redbank Valley coaching staff, has been hard at work, with that game plan. But it helps tremendously that they've seen something similar before. You have kind of a blueprint to go off of, and you're not coming into this game, with, not sure exactly what to expect. They know what to expect.
Andy, that's going to wrap us up for the Charles Leach kickoff show. Before we go, though, your thoughts on today's game?
Chris, this has just been a remarkable story, this Redbank football team. I think, all of us, here at D910 Sports thought this could be a special season for the Bulldogs. I'm not sure if I thought they'd get this far. It's the fact that they have is absolutely phenomenal. It's just the third District 9 team to ever do it. It's so exciting. So excited for this, these kids and this coaching staff. And I think they have a really, not just saying this, they have a really good chance to win this football game today.
I do too. I think if they minimize their mistakes, I think they played a better team in the semifinals. Now, a lot of things went their way in that game, so that doesn't mean that they're the better team just because they played a better team in the semifinals than they're going to play here. That's not to take anything away from Bishop Guilfoyle, a really good team in its own right, who beat a pretty good Canton team to get here. I just think if Redbank can minimize the mistakes and continue to just do what it does, I'm with you, Andy. I think they have a good chance of winning. I mean, I know that's what we picked on our picks on D9 and 10 Sports. In fact, all four of us did. Jared Bakaiza has been producing here a little bit with Brian Hagberg helping out back in Warren, and Rich Rhodes, who was on a little earlier. You and I, we all took Redbank. Maybe it's bad news for them that Jared took Redbank, though. His picks haven't been.
Oh, come on! There's no need to do that. Come on.
He's right. He picked the Bulldogs last week. I did not. So I will give him full credit for that. And yeah, I think it should be an exciting football game. Again, it'll be available on the NFHS network, also on PCN TV, and I know that ExploreClarion.com is doing an audio broadcast. Bob Dunkel, Mike Kalinowski. Special time for Bob Dunkel, being a Redbank grad, getting to do a championship game. My former colleagues over there, really excited for Bob for the opportunity to do this game. And so if you want a local flavor, ExploreClarion.com will have an audio broadcast. You want to watch the game again, NFHS and on PCN TV. If you get PCN as part of your cable telecast, you can tune in there as well. Hey, want to thank our sponsors: Clarion Printing, New Bethlehem Subway, North Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, Tenesta Builder Supply, Luton's Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Laurel Eye Clinic, and of course our title sponsor, Charles Leach Agency. Special thanks to Lisa Goth at the Charles Leach Agency and everybody else down there. It was really their idea to do this, and we're really excited for them to sponsor this. Again, you can check them out online for all your insurance needs at leachagency.com. Special thanks to Brian Hagberg and Jared Bakaiza for helping to produce this show, and to Rich Rhodes and Andy Close for being on it. Folks, we're about an hour and 5 minutes from kickoff of the PIAA Class 1A championship game. You've been watching the Charles Leach Agency pre-game kickoff show on D9and10sports.com.
You know, Mom, so many of the people I hang out with talk about buying their insurance online. They say they like how easy it is to get and how they like to pay online.
Mike, I have had long-term clients give it a try too, but you know, the vast majority come back to us very quickly.
Why?
Well, there's lots of reasons. One being their premiums. They usually are not as affordable as they first appear. At Charles Leach, we explore many alternatives, and we can offer coverage from such companies as Hartford, Progressive, Travelers, Brother Mutual, Penn National, Allstate, and many more.
Wow, that's a lot of options. But can they pay their bills online?
Yes, they can. They can even set their bank account up with EFT.
That's electronic fund transfer, right?
That's right. Call Charles Leach for a no-obligation appointment at 888-CP-LEACH or see us online at leachagency.com. That's Charles Leach at 888-CP-LEACH, protecting you like family.
Clarion Printing, a full-service commercial printer since 1968, offers everything from design to completion with fast turnaround times and competitive prices. Clarion Printing offers things from digital to offset printing, large format banners and signage, and even vinyl and silk screening. Shipping daily with UPS, Clarion Printing can take care of you no matter where you live. Find out more at clarionprinting.com.
For all your sandwich needs, stop by the New Bethlehem Subway, located across the street from Redbank Valley High School. The New Bethlehem Subway is open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Stop in today to get your stocking stuffer gift cards or order a sandwich or salad online through the app or in the store. The New Bethlehem Subway is a proud supporter of Redbank Valley Athletics.
Why should you choose North Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Fairmont City? Why wouldn't you choose them? At North, their sales are speedy and include upfront and straightforward pricing. If it's service and parts you're after, they have skilled technicians who are factory trained while offering knowledgeable parts experts. Maybe you need North's full service body shop offering top quality collision repair to all makes and models of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Or do you want to cruise the highway in a clean, shiny vehicle thanks to North's detailing service? No matter your needs, North Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Fairmont City is there for you. Find out more at NorthChryslerDodge.com.